In the very heart of the wild, where the plains stretch endlessly and the sky embraces the earth, the greatest dramas of nature unfold. Here the story never pauses. Predators chase their prey in a relentless ballet of survival, and sometimes the hunter becomes the hunted as powerful rivals clash in a merciless struggle for dominance. The golden light of dawn spills across the savanna, painting the tall grasses in hues of amber and gold, while the silhouettes of acacia trees stand as silent witnesses to the unfolding spectacle. From the sun-drenched African savanna, where herds of antelope move like living rivers across the land, to the tangled forests of Madagascar, where ancient trees conceal secrets and rare creatures, and onward to the towering mountains of North America, alive with the calls and movements of wild animals, every corner of this planet is a daily battleground for survival. Thunderclouds gather over the plains, rivers carve their way through the landscape, and distant herds move as one, each animal playing its part in the grand design. In this world, every living creature, from the tiniest insect hidden among the leaves, fighting for a single drop of dew, to the beetle forging its path through the grass and the butterfly pausing on a delicate plant, is locked in its own struggle. The ant, burdened with a leaf many times its size, marches across the forest floor, while dew sparkles on a spider's web, a silent testament to the quiet battles waged each morning. And then there are the great hunters, the lion, standing vigilant in the golden grass, the eagle soaring high above the landscape, the crocodile gliding silently through the river's depths. The leopard moves like a shadow through the tall grass, while the owl glides silently over the moonlit forest. Each is a master of its domain, playing an irreplaceable role in this ancient, never-ending competition. The tension reaches its peak when the paths of powerful predators cross. Near the riverbank, lions and crocodiles lock eyes in a silent, electric standoff, each testing the limits of their strength and cunning. Elsewhere, hyenas and wild dogs circle each other, while a herd of buffalo forms a living fortress, horns out, ready to defend against any threat. These moments are charged with anticipation, as every creature measures its opponent, knowing that the outcome could mean life or death. These encounters, whether thunderous or silent, shape entire ecosystems. The grazing wildebeest, the elephants communicating with gentle rumbles, the birds rising in a sudden cloud above the wetlands, and the fish darting beneath the river's surface, all are bound together in a delicate balance. Every life depends on another, woven into a complex web of relationships that keeps the wheel of evolution turning and the harmony of nature intact. Step with us into this enchanting world, where every moment is charged with wonder and every corner reveals a new marvel. Together we will meet the most extraordinary characters of the wild, witnessing the breathtaking beauty and raw power of nature's grand stage, where the drama of life plays out in every instant and the story of survival is written anew each day. In the heart of the huge African savanna, where endless golden grasses wave under a never-ending sky and rivers wind their way through the land, two of the world's strongest hunters rule. The lion, the true king of the grasslands, stands tall on a small hill, his golden mane catching the morning light, looking at the horizon with strong focus. Across the riverbank, the Nile crocodile, old and patient, waits, its big, tough body perfectly hidden among the shadows and tall plants, with only its careful, smart eyes showing above the water. Each one is a ruler in its own area, showing pure power and a royal presence in a world where only the strong make it. Here, the savanna and the river are not just places, they are kingdoms, and these two rulers are always connected by nature's delicate balance. The lion is amazing with his muscles and quickness, his body built for both super-fast speed and endless strength. His jaws, with super-sharp teeth, can crush bones easily, while his strong body lets him jump and pounce with amazing accuracy. Lions live in close-knit groups called prides, where everyone has a job. The lionesses, smart and good at planning, work together to hunt and raise the cubs, while the main male watches the edges of their land. always alert for others. In the cool morning, the pride gathers under the protective branches of an acacia tree. The lioness cleans her cubs, their playful wrestling a short break from the tough parts of surviving. The male lion looks over his area, his deep, loud roar echoing across the plains, a warning to rivals and a sign of his rule. When the hunt starts, the lion becomes a shadow, moving quietly through the tall grass, every muscle ready. He picks his target carefully, then bursts into action. A blur of golden fur and pure power. The bond within the pride is built on trust and need. Each lion's survival depends on the group's strength and teamwork. The crocodile, on the other hand, is like a living old thing, a creature whose family line goes back millions of years, not changed and made perfect by time. Its thick, tough skin is like a fort, safe from most attacks, while its jaws are among the strongest in the animal world, able to snap shut with bone-crushing force. The crocodile is a master of waiting and being sneaky, spending hours, sometimes days, still in the water, with only its eyes and nose showing it's there. Underwater it moves with a ghostly quietness, every move planned and careful. When food comes near the water's edge, the crocodile attacks with amazing speed, biting down on its victim and pulling it into the deep water. Being hidden and waiting are its best weapons. It's the clear master of surprise attacks, never wasting energy, never missing the perfect time to strike. In the crocodile's world, surviving is a game of waiting, and every successful hunt shows its old cleverness. At the water's edge, where the golden grasslands meet the winding river, these two big animals will always meet. Here, every time they meet is a test of strength, smarts, and bravery. The lion comes to the river carefully, his senses sharp for the smallest ripple or shadow. He looks at the water, searching for any sign of danger, while the crocodile stays perfectly still, its eyes on the approaching hunter. The air is thick with tension. Every sound, every move is important. The lion stops, his nose twitching as he smells the air, while the crocodile waits, hidden just under the surface, ready to attack if it gets a chance. In this place, the power balance can change in a second, and every moment is full of danger. During the dry season, water is very important, and the shrinking pools bring all kinds of animals to their banks. Thirst and hunger make the animals come closer together, and the chances of a fight between a lion and a crocodile go up a lot. Zebras and antelopes gather nervously, their eyes darting between the two hunters, knowing that one wrong step could mean death. The lion comes to the muddy waterhole, his moves slow and careful, every muscle ready for action. He looks left and right, always careful of the hidden danger. The crocodile, meanwhile, stays still, its nose barely above the water as it moves closer, waiting for the perfect moment to attack. The whole scene is full of excitement, as if the air itself is holding its breath. Here, at the river's edge, the fight between the lion and the crocodile starts. Each sees the other as a tough opponent, sometimes even as something to eat. Their eyes meet in a quiet challenge, the tension between them clear. The lion puts his paws firmly in the mud, his gaze steady, while the crocodile stays completely still, every sense focused on the slightest movement. For a moment, time seems to stop. One moment of hesitation could mean losing or dying. The result of each meeting is not certain, and both hunters know that the risks couldn't be higher. When they meet at the water's edge, it's a fight between land and water, between raw, clear strength and clever, hidden danger. Every fight is full of risk for both. The lion uses his speed and brute force, ready to jump back at the first sign of danger. The crocodile, on the other hand, trusts in surprising its prey and the crushing power of its jaws. Each knows the other's weak spots and waits for the smallest mistake. The line between land and water becomes a battleground, and the outcome is never sure. The lion moves forward with careful steps, every move measured, testing how the crocodile will react. He knows that one wrong move could be deadly. The crocodile, meanwhile, stays hidden, its patience unbreakable, waiting for the lion to come just a little too close. The grass rustles softly as the lion moves, his breath showing in the cool morning air. Under the water, the crocodile's body tenses, ready to burst into action. In this never-ending contest, there's no guaranteed winner. Each meeting writes a new part in the story of survival, and the result is always unknown. This ongoing fight shapes the limits of power and creates a delicate balance between life and death along the riverbanks. The lion and the crocodile remain lasting symbols of the African wild, each respecting the other's strength, each knowing that only the smartest and strongest will survive in this tough world. As the sun rises over the savannah, both hunters go back to their own areas, the fragile peace brought back until the next meeting, when the ancient dance of survival starts again. In the heart of the African savannah, under the shade of acacia trees, a pride of lions rests peacefully, breathing in the scent of the dry earth and keeping a watchful eye on the horizon. The lion's strength doesn't come from being alone, but from its pride, a close-knit family built on working together and a clear pecking order. As morning comes, the lionesses start to move quietly through the tall grass. Their bodies move perfectly with nature as they carefully plan their hunts. The young cubs watch and learn, taking in every move, copying their mother's steps in how to sneak up and chase prey. From a young age, they learn how important it is to work as a team and survive. The male lions, on the other hand, stand like proud guards. Their thick manes shine in the sun, and their roars echo across the plains, showing who's boss and warning any outsiders. They are the first line of defense, protecting the pride from other dangerous animals and rivals, making sure their family line continues even when things are tough. After a tough chase and a good hunt, the pride gathers around the prey. The grown-ups eat first, while the cubs wait patiently for their turn, learning what order and rules mean. This pecking order makes sure food is shared fairly and makes the pride stronger. As the sun rises, the pride moves as one group across the golden plains, carefully looking around them, dealing with the heat of the day, the dangers of hyenas and leopards, and looking for scarce water. Each day brings new problems, from being hungry to protecting their land from other prides. Over thousands of years, this tough environment has made the lions stronger, helping them come up with ways to survive, and making the pride a symbol of togetherness and power. By working together, planning and being brave, the lions handle the harshness of nature, staying the true kings of the savannah with no one to challenge their rule. In the heart of the Serengeti, the river is ruled by a silent and ancient predator, the Nile crocodile. Here, beneath the shimmering surface, the crocodile reigns as the undisputed master of ambush. For hours, sometimes even days, the crocodile waits motionless at the water's edge, its body perfectly camouflaged among the reeds and mud. Only its eyes and nostrils break the surface, betraying no hint of the danger lurking below. With a sudden, explosive burst of power, the crocodile lunges from the water, jaws snapping shut with bone-crushing force. Its victim is seized in an instant, dragged beneath the surface, and subjected to the infamous death roll, a violent spin that drowns and disorients prey. In these moments, the river transforms into a stage for a brutal struggle between life and death. The crocodile's fearsome reputation is well earned. Its armoured skin, dagger-like teeth, and immense strength make it a formidable hunter. Yet there is more to this ancient reptile than raw power and aggression. During nesting season, the female crocodile reveals a rarely seen side, one of remarkable tenderness. She guards her nest with unwavering vigilance, carefully arranging the eggs and shielding them from predators and the harsh sun. When the eggs finally hatch, the mother responds to the tiny calls of her young. With astonishing gentleness, she gathers the fragile hatchlings in her powerful jaws and carries them safely to the water's edge, releasing them into the river to begin their perilous journey. But the river is unforgiving. From the moment they enter the water, the hatchlings are surrounded by danger. Birds of prey circle above. Fish and mammals lurk nearby, all eager for an easy meal. The reeds become both sanctuary and trap, as the young crocodiles navigate a world filled with threats. Most will not survive their first days. Many fall victim to predators, their journey cut short before it truly begins. Only a handful will evade danger, hiding among the tangled vegetation, learning to move with stealth and caution. Those that do survive grow stronger with each passing day. They learn the art of patience, the value of stillness, and the power of a sudden strike. Over time, they transform from vulnerable hatchlings into skilled hunters, destined to rule the river. As adults, Nile crocodiles are the undisputed masters of their domain. They bask in the sun to warm their cold-blooded bodies, then slip silently into the water, moving with effortless grace and power. Every movement is calculated, every moment a lesson in survival. In this harsh ecosystem, the crocodile has perfected the art of survival. It is a game of patience and precision, of waiting for the perfect moment to strike. At any instant, the crocodile is ready to unleash its power, making it one of the most formidable and feared predators in the Serengeti. In the heart of the Serengeti, the dry season really takes hold, turning the once green grasslands into a huge area of dust and dry, yellowed grass. The air shimmers with heat as the strong sun climbs higher, its rays burning the ground and making every important waterhole smaller. Life here becomes a daily fight, a never-ending contest to stay alive where only the strongest and smartest make it. In this tough place, a single lion walks with slow, heavy steps toward a muddy, shrinking pond. His mane is messy with dust, his golden eyes dull from being tired and thirsty. Every muscle in his strong body tells the story of days spent looking for water, of nights bothered by the growl of an empty stomach and the pain of dry lips. Still, the basic need to survive pushes him forward, making him forget all caution. He stops at the edge of the waterhole, looking across the land, his ears twitching at the smallest sound in the grass, every sense sharper because of how desperate he is. The lion knows this place is full of danger. In the Serengeti, every animal, whether it's an antelope, elephant, or zebra, understands that water is both a good thing and a bad thing because it attracts not only those who are thirsty, but also the hunters. Above, birds fly around carefully, their wings making quick shadows on the cracked ground. Far away, a group of zebras hesitates, their bodies stiff, their noses flaring as they think about the risk of going to the water. The lion's eyes stay fixed on the still surface, watching for the smallest ripple, his body ready to react to any danger that might come out of the dark water. Suddenly the quiet is broken by a quick small movement. From under the muddy water a huge crocodile rises, its tough back shining in the sunlight. The animal moves slowly and dangerously, sliding closer to the water's edge. Its small, old eyes lock onto the lion, not blinking and cold. The air gets thick with tension as these two giants of the wild face each other, one the clear king of the land, the other a quiet, patient ruler of the water. The lion stands tall, his body stiff, a low growl rumbling in his chest. The crocodile responds by opening its huge mouth, showing rows of super-sharp teeth, a silent warning that it won't give up its spot without a fight. Each predator tests how strong the other is, knowing that one wrong move could mean dying. The lion lets out a huge roar, the sound echoing across the savanna and making groups of birds fly into the sky. He wants to scare his rival, to show he's in charge of this important bit of water. The crocodile answers with a scary hiss, its tail slapping the water and making ripples across the pond. Neither one wants to give up. Both are fighting not just for water, but for their very lives. From the safety of the tall grass, other animals watch with wide, scared eyes, knowing that going near now would cause big trouble. Without warning, the staring contest turns into a wild fight. The lion jumps, his claws out, hitting the crocodile's tough head with all his strength. The crocodile twists with amazing speed, snapping its jaws to try and grab the lion's leg. Water splashes everywhere as they fight at the edge, the air filled with the sounds of growling, hissing, and the fast flapping of wings as smaller animals run from the chaos. The lion moves in circles, using how fast he is to avoid the crocodile's strong bite, darting in to hit from the sides. The crocodile, using its raw power and the protection of its thick skin, tries to drag the lion into deeper water, where it would have the advantage. The struggle is fierce, wild, and desperate, each fighter battling with every bit of strength, every instinct sharpened by many generations of staying alive. The battle goes on for what feels like forever, even though only minutes pass. Every second is a test of how much they can take and how strong their will is. The lion manages to pull himself free from the crocodile's jaws, but it costs him. A deep, bloody cut hurts his leg. The crocodile, too, gets hurt, its head and back bruised by the lion's constant hits. Blood stains the water and the ground, a clear reminder of what it costs to survive. Neither one truly wins. Both are hurt, their energy gone, but their spirits are still strong. From the shadows, antelopes and hyenas watch, waiting to see what happens, knowing that the fate of these two giants will change who controls the waterhole. Slowly the lion limps away from the waterhole, still thirsty but alive. Every step shows how tough he is, his body marked by the scars from the fight. The crocodile, hurt but alive, slides back into the dark water, disappearing below the surface to heal its wounds and wait for another chance. The birds come back, flying above, and the other animals move closer, always careful, knowing that danger still hides under the water. In this tough world, just staying alive doesn't always mean winning. Sometimes being smart means knowing when to fight and when to back off. As the sun sets, making the savanna glow golden, each animal goes back to being alone, licking its wounds and getting ready for another day in the never-ending fight for life. The lion and the crocodile, now apart, each find a quiet spot to rest. Their bodies hurting, but their spirits still strong. And sometimes the biggest win in the wild is just making it to see another sunrise. As dawn breaks over the Serengeti, the lion lies under a single tree, his eyes looking across the endless plains. He breathes in the cool morning air, alive after the tough night, ready to face whatever new challenges the day might bring. In this endless cycle of struggle and survival, every creature has its story, a tale written in the dust, the blood, and the golden light of the African wilderness. Deep in the heart of the Masai Mara, a pack of African wild dogs moves as if guided by a single mind. Each member knows its place, its role, and its responsibility with astonishing precision. Their yips and calls blend with the whispering wind, while sharp eyes scan the golden horizon, ever alert for both opportunity and danger. The savanna is alive with tension, and the wild dogs are its most synchronized dancers. Suddenly a lone antelope appears in the distance. Instantly the pack springs into action. The chase is a masterpiece of coordination. Some dogs drive the prey forward while others circle wide, anticipating its every move. The antelope darts and weaves, but the wild dogs are relentless, their strategy flawless. In a matter of moments the antelope is caught in their carefully laid trap. But just as the pack begins to celebrate their hard-won meal, a new threat emerges. A small crocodile, drawn by the scent of fresh blood, slithers silently from the nearby riverbank, its eyes fixed on the prize. In an instant, the mood shifts. The wild dogs abandon their feast, forming a tight defensive circle around the kill. Their bodies tense, ears pinned back, they face the intruder with unwavering resolve. Sharp barks and high-pitched yelps fill the air as the pack closes ranks. One by one the dogs dart forward, snapping at the crocodile's tough hide, then retreating before it can strike. Their movements are swift and calculated, a blur of fur and teeth designed to confuse and intimidate. The crocodile, formidable in its own right, finds itself outmatched not by brute force, but by the pack's unity and cunning. Surrounded and harried from all sides, it hesitates, then slowly begins to back away, dragging its heavy body across the earth. The wild dogs press their advantage, never allowing the reptile a moment's rest, their teamwork forcing the predator to retreat in defeat. In this moment, the true strength of the wild dogs is revealed. It is not just their speed or their teeth that win the day, but their ability to work as one. Each individual acting for the good of the group. Their communication is constant, their decisions made in the blink of an eye, every action reinforcing the bonds that hold the pack together. Within this harsh ecosystem, African wild dogs play a vital role. Their hunts keep prey populations in check, preventing overgrazing and the spread of disease. Through their unique cooperation and social intelligence, they help maintain the delicate balance of the savanna, shaping the landscape with every coordinated move. With the crocodile gone, the pack returns to their meal. There is no chaos or fighting. Each dog waits its turn, the youngest and weakest feeding first, followed by the adults. It is a scene of order and respect, a living testament to the power of community in the wild. Here, in the endless grasslands, African wild dogs stand as a symbol of unity and survival, proving that in nature it is cooperation, not strength alone, that ensures the future. And deep in the heart of the African plains, far from where people live, an old fight plays out between the lion and the crocodile. This isn't just about staying alive, but a tricky dance that makes up the very world around them. Every time these top hunters meet, it sends waves through the wild, reaching every part of the Serengeti. You can feel the tension as a group of lions comes to the river's edge, their golden eyes glued to the dark, still shapes hiding just under the water. The crocodiles, patient and quiet, wait for the perfect moment to attack, knowing that one wrong move could mean the difference between having a meal and going hungry. When lions and crocodiles fight, the effects spread out. The huge groups of wildebeest, feeling danger, change where they travel. Their hooves drum across the plains as they look for safer paths and precious water. Zebras and gazelles, always watching, figure out new routes, careful of both the hunters on land and those hiding in the rivers. Every choice made by the hunted or the hunter changes where food and water are, redrawing the map of life in these huge grasslands. The river which used to give life becomes a battleground, and the animals must change or die. In this world untouched by humans, nothing is wasted. When a hunter fails to catch its prey, others are ready to grab the chance. Vultures fly high above, their sharp eyes looking for the smallest sign of a meal. Hyenas and jackals, always finding a way, come in to eat what's left, their calls echoing across the plains. This endless cycle of eating and new life makes sure that every bit of life is used, fueling a network of connections that holds the Serengeti together. These ongoing struggles make every creature change and get better. Gazelles become even more alert, their senses sharper from many generations of escaping danger. Lions get better at their hunting plans, learning to work together with more cleverness and patience. Crocodiles, masters of surprise attacks, wait still for hours, getting perfect at the art of surprising others. Each type of animal learns from the other, changing how they act to meet the always changing challenges of the wild. The result is like a living lab of survival, where only the ones who can change best survive. The constant tension between rivals creates a lively environment where staying still is impossible. Every fight is a new test, a fresh chance to win or lose. Wins and losses shift who has the power, shaping what happens to whole groups and families. The riverbank becomes a stage for these dramatic meetings, where the outcome of one battle can change the future of the savanna. In this natural world, untouched by human hands, every conflict and friendship plays a very important part in the big cycle of life. Here, the complex connections between different kinds of animals are shown in every interaction, and the delicate balance that keeps the Serengeti going continues. The beauty of this wild place is in its constant movement, its endless changing, and the quiet agreement among all creatures to play their part in the ongoing story of survival. Away from Africa, an amazing trip happens all over the world. The land changes and the animals become different with every step we take. From the tall mountains that touch the clouds to the far-off islands in the big blue ocean, amazing stories of how animals survive come out. In each place, nature gives its own special problems, making animals find clever ways to live well in their different homes. In North America, the rough mountains stand tall, looking tough to climb. Here, bighorn sheep show how nimble and strong they are. These sheep climb the high rocks super easily, jumping from one ledge to another, getting away from animals that hunt them below. Every step shows how good they are at balancing and making quick choices. This makes them some of the best animals at living in their tough mountain home. When it's time for them to mate, these cliffs turn into places where big fights happen. The male sheep go head-to-head, their horns hitting each other with a huge crash that echoes through the valley. These fights aren't just about showing off strength, they are real tests of who can survive, where only the strongest ones make sure their babies get their good traits. Each fight tells a story of being tough and determined even when nature is hard. Leaving the mountains, we go across the oceans to the island of Madagascar. Their thick forests hide a special hunter called the fossa. It looks like a cat, but it's more agile and smart. It moves quietly through the trees, watching its prey from above. It uses its speed and bendy body to jump on the lemurs that live in the treetops. In this isolated place, the fossa is the clear ruler of the forest, perfectly suited for every part of this special ecosystem. The lemurs, on the other hand, live complicated social lives in the trees. Families stick together in close groups, helping each other find food and stay safe from danger. They spend time grooming each other, talking with sounds and body language, and always staying alert, looking around for any threats coming their way. Even when lemurs compete, it's done in a special way. Instead of fighting, they have scent-marking battles. Each one uses special glands to leave their smell on branches. These quiet contests decide who controls which area and show how lemurs can adapt to their home without needing to fight. From tall mountains to lonely islands, the land changes and animals thrive everywhere on our planet. Every animal and every ecosystem tells a story of how they adapt and stay strong when nature throws challenges at them. This trip through mountains and islands shows how beautiful different kinds of life are, and how life can grow in the hardest and most beautiful places. All over the world, the fight to stay alive is what drives nature. In the middle of the huge Serengeti plains, as the first golden sunbeams shine across the grasslands, every animal, from a tiny bug hiding under a leaf to a powerful hunter looking out at the land, faces endless daily problems. Here there's no room to be weak. Every moment is a new test of how well they can change and bounce back, a never-ending contest where only the most clever ones make it. The fights between hunters make them smarter and better at what they do. Every time a lion and a crocodile meet, it's not just a fight for food, but a lesson in being smart, patient, and brave. As the lion walks along the riverbank, muscles tight and eyes fixed, the crocodile hides just under the water, still but ready, waiting for the perfect moment to attack. These interactions make sure that no one animal takes over, keeping the delicate balance of the ecosystem. The special skills of each animal are made strong by this constant pressure. The lion makes its senses better, learning to move quietly through the tall grass, feeling the wind and guessing how both its prey and rivals will move. The crocodile, a master of waiting, gets really good at ambushing, blending perfectly with the muddy riverbanks, its eyes just above the water, showing nothing. Even the animals they hunt, gazelles, zebras, and giraffes, are changed by this constant danger. They become very aware, quick to react, and have smart ways to escape. Each new generation learns from the last, and each animal adds a new layer of detail to the web of life. The balance between the hunter and the hunted helps all life. If this balance is messed up, the effects spread out. Too many hunters and the herds get smaller, leaving the land strangely quiet. Too few, and the grazers grow too much, eating all the grass and putting everyone's survival at risk. Every action, every choice, every moment of struggle is part of the ecosystem. Each win, each loss, and every change is part of a much bigger story of how everything is connected. The times of success and failure shape what happens to future generations. A lioness who learns a new way to hunt passes it on to her cubs. A crocodile that barely escapes becomes more clever. The animals are always changing, learning hard lessons from the wild and coming up with new ways to deal with the constantly changing problems of their world. In this world, no animal is without importance. Even the smallest creatures play a very important part in keeping life going. Bugs help the soil breathe, making it good for new plants to grow. Birds spread seeds far and wide, making sure the savanna grows back. Every link in the chain is needed. Every life is connected to many others in a web that stretches across the plains and through the seasons. The cycle of struggle and living together is the heartbeat of our living planet. With every sunrise and sunset, nature writes a new part in its never-ending story. The lion's roar echoes across the grasslands, the crocodile quietly slips into the river, and the herds move on, all part of the big picture of life. Here, every creature, no matter how fierce or delicate, is a needed part of the amazing fabric of existence. As the last rays of sunlight fade and a deep indigo cloak settles over the African savanna, a profound transformation sweeps across the plains. The familiar world of daylight, ruled by the mighty lions and lurking crocodiles, slowly gives way to a hidden realm, a world where shadows stretch long and the air is thick with anticipation. Here, in the cool embrace of night, a new caste of predators emerges, each perfectly adapted to thrive in darkness. While lions and crocodiles dominate the plains beneath the blazing sun, the night belongs to those who flourish in the shadows. These nocturnal hunters, rarely glimpsed by human eyes, are the silent architects of the ecosystem, their secret lives essential to the heartbeat of the Serengeti. In the hush of the cool night, the spotted hyena becomes a master strategist. Moving with a confidence born of experience, it prowls the moonlit grasslands, every sense heightened, every step calculated. With ears attuned to the faintest rustle and a nose capable of detecting scents from miles away, hyenas communicate in a symphony of low whoops and eerie laughter. These sounds, echoing through the darkness, are not random. They are the language of teamwork, coordinating complex group hunts that unfold beneath the stars. Their jaws, among the most powerful in the animal kingdom, make quick work of bones and sinew. Nothing is wasted. Every scrap is devoured, ensuring that the bounty of the plains is recycled and nothing goes to waste. Not far away, the elegant serval cat glides like a phantom through the tall grass. Its movements are almost supernatural, silent, precise, and utterly focused. The serval's oversized ears swivel at the slightest whisper of movement, capturing the faintest sounds of life hidden beneath the grass. Every twitch is a calculation, every pause a moment of intense concentration. Listening intently for the scurrying of rodents or the flutter of insects, the serval suddenly springs into action. With a powerful leap, it soars higher than any other cat its size, its long legs propelling it above the grass to pounce with pinpoint accuracy. Each hunt is a test of patience and skill, rewarded by hidden treasures, plump rodents and insects that sustain the serval through the long night. High above, the silent flight of the barn owl signals the arrival of another master hunter. With wings designed for noiseless movement, the owl glides effortlessly through the darkness, unseen and unheard. Its heart-shaped face acts as a satellite dish, channeling the faintest sounds directly to its keen ears. Every beat of its wings is measured, every glide a calculated approach toward unsuspecting prey. With a sudden silent dive, talons outstretched, the owl ends the journey of a mouse in a heartbeat. The night is unforgiving, and only the most skilled survive. The owl's extraordinary night vision allows it to spot the slightest movement, even under the faintest starlight, making it a relentless predator in the darkness. On the ground, the African civet, its coat marked with striking black and white patterns, weaves through the undergrowth. Guided by a powerful sense of smell, it searches for fruit, insects, and small mammals, its nose leading the way through the tangled brush. The civet's diet is as varied as its tactics. Sometimes it stalks quietly, other times it forages boldly, always adapting to whatever the night provides. Its flexibility is its greatest strength. Even the elusive leopard cat, with its ringed tail and lithe body, slips through the branches and shadows. It hunts birds nesting on low limbs or insects crawling among the fallen leaves, its every movement a blend of grace and stealth. Its agility is unmatched, and its solitary nature makes it a ghost among the trees, a predator few ever see, but many fear. For these nocturnal predators, survival is a delicate dance. Every night is a new challenge, a test of senses, patience, and skill. The darkness offers them protection from larger rivals and the punishing heat of the day, but it also demands sharp senses, unwavering focus, and the ability to adapt to ever-changing conditions. Each species has developed its own unique strategy: the hyena's teamwork, the serval's acrobatics, the owl's silent flight, and the civet's adaptability. Together they form a tapestry of survival, each thread vital to the balance of the night. As dawn approaches and the first light touches the horizon, these creatures slip away, their secrets hidden once more until darkness falls again. Yet their nightly efforts shape the balance of the African plains, ensuring that the cycle of life continues, unseen but always essential, in the mysterious world that awakens after sunset. Across the huge plains, as the first golden rays of dawn stretch over the Serengeti, a new day wakes up. The night's hunters go back into the shadows and the world changes. Here, on this big stage, one of nature's most amazing and dangerous shows happens: the Great Migration. Millions of wildebeest, zebras, and antelopes rush forward, pushed by a strong need for fresh grass and water that gives life. Their trip is a never-ending search, a cycle as old as the land itself. The migration starts quietly, almost like a whisper. The first herds stir under the warming sun, their hooves pressing into wet ground, showing the start of a huge journey. Their natural instincts guide them, perfectly timed with the arrival of the rains that sweep across the Serengeti and the Masai Mara, making the plains look promising. Wildebeest, packed tightly in huge lines, go first. Their numbers are huge, a living river of muscle and strong will. Zebras, their bright stripes shining in the morning light, move around the wildebeest, forming a protective wall and adding their own energy to the moving crowd. On the sides, quick Thompson's gazelles dart and dance, their small groups staying near the edges of the big herds, always watching for danger. There is no single leader here. Instead, a shared memory, carved into the minds of many generations, guides them. The trip never stops, a pulse that never fades. Day and night the herds keep going, covering hundreds of miles, their movement showing how tough they are. Once green plains become dry under the constant march. Dust blows up around pounding hooves, covering the horizon in a golden haze. The air shakes with the low, steady sound of thousands of bodies moving as one, a living song of survival. Every step is an adventure, every river crossing a tough test by water. The Grumeti and Mara rivers are the hardest challenges on this journey. These rivers, full from rain, are both a way to live and a deadly barrier, their banks filled with worry and fear. Under the water, crocodiles wait, still and unseen, their patience as old as the rivers themselves. The first wildebeest jump into the water, and right then the river explodes with craziness and danger. Hooves stir the water, waves crash, and fear spreads as the herd rushes forward, trying hard to reach the other side. Hunters attack very fast, and fear spreads through the group of animals as they fight to stay alive. Some are carried away by the strong current, their strength not enough for the river's power. Others are pulled under the water, taken by the quiet hunters below, but the herd keeps going. Losing a few makes sure many survive, and the journey continues, not stopped. But rivers are not the only problem. The wild is a tough obstacle course. On the open plains, hungry lions and smart hyenas follow the herds, waiting for the weak or young to fall behind. For those who slow down, the hunters come closer, fast and without mercy. Dust storms can blind and scatter the herd, splitting families and causing confusion. The sun beats down, strong and unforgiving. Only the promise of rain gives hope, a far-off relief shining on the horizon. Even with such hard times, the animals keep going, their strength unbroken. The migration is like a song of never giving up, each animal doing its part in the big movement across the land. Mothers gently push their young forward, guiding them through the dangers and teaching them the old paths. Newborns, weak and wobbly, find their balance in minutes, pushed by the urgent need to survive. Zebras, always watchful, look at the horizon with sharp eyes, ready for the smallest sign of danger. Wildebeest depend on their huge numbers, finding safety in the craziness and mix of the crowd. There are rare times of peace, short, precious breaks to eat grass and drink. Here the herds mix, and for a brief time the land is calm. But the call to move is always close. As the grass gets thin, the march starts again, pushed by hunger and hope. The herds keep going, crossing dry lands where only the strongest live. No human hand guides or gets in the way. This is a world untouched, ruled by instinct and nature's rules. The story here is written by instinct and survival, unchanged for thousands of years. The Great Migration is more than a trip, it is the heartbeat of the Savanna, a living rhythm that shapes the land and everyone who lives on it. It shows how life can keep going, overcome what seems impossible, and do well against all odds. As the herds disappear into the distance, their passing makes the earth new again. Seeds are pushed into the soil, and hunters too are fed. Soon the cycle will start again, as it always has, under the watchful sky and the endless rhythm of the wild. Under the huge African sky, the Great Migration continues, a never-ending dance of survival, strength and hope echoing through time. As the first golden rays of the African sun stretch across the savanna, the land wakes up with a gentle promise. The air is cool, but you can already feel the heat coming. Every living creature, from the tiniest bug to the biggest animal, is pulled by an old feeling toward one very important place, the waterhole. Here, at this special spot made by time and survival, the story of life and death plays out, a story as old as the earth itself. The waterhole isn't just a place to get a drink, it's the heart of the savanna, a stage where friendships are made, fights are tested, and every day brings new ways to survive. The waterhole is like a living play, with its actors always changing. Here, the rules aren't written down, but everyone understands them. Only the smart, the strong, or the lucky will do well. In the pale light of morning, the first ones to arrive are always the most careful. Shadows stretch long, and every move is slow and thought out. Antelopes and gazelles gather at the edge, their ears twitching, eyes wide and alert, looking around for any sign of danger. They know that every sip could be their last. They move in close groups, each animal trusting its friends to be watchful. They drink fast, their muscles tight, ready to run at the slightest hint of a threat. For these delicate plant-eaters, every gulp is a risk, a gamble between being thirsty and staying alive. Soon the ground shakes as giants come closer. A mother elephant leads her herd with quiet power, her presence earning respect. Their huge size gives them first pick at the water's edge. The antelopes and gazelles scatter, giving up the best spots to these gentle giants. The elephants move slowly and gracefully, their trunks already reaching for the cool water. The elephants drink deeply, using their trunks like straws and showers. They spray themselves and each other, turning the waterhole into a place of fun and relief from the growing heat. Baby elephants splash in the shallow water, watched over by grown-ups who protect them. Here the youngest learn how the waterhole works, lessons that will shape their lives. But peace doesn't last long. A sudden noise or movement spreads through the crowd, making birds fly and hooves stomp. The promise of water brings new visitors. A herd of Cape buffalo comes closer, their numbers growing as they get near the water's edge. Their huge horns are a warning to everyone but the bravest. The buffalo move with a slow, threatening manner, their presence changing who's in charge. The waterhole gets crowded and tension builds as there's less space. Every animal has to find its spot or risk being pushed aside. Sometimes a lone bull challenges another, their horns crashing together in a cloud of dust. The winner gets the best spot while the loser sneaks away. All the while, predators watch from the shadows. Lions, patient and quiet, hide in the tall grass. Their golden eyes follow every move, looking for the weakest or most distracted visitor. The waterhole is a natural trap. Thirst pushes prey into the open, putting them in danger of being attacked. Suddenly a lioness bursts from hiding, a blur of muscle and purpose. Chaos breaks out as animals run in every direction. The herd explodes in fear, dust and panic filling the air. For most, getting away is possible, but for the unlucky ones, the waterhole becomes their last stop. The results are quick and quiet. The survivors gather again, always careful, while the predators take their prize. Under the water, another danger hides. The crocodile, old and always watching, waits with amazing patience, its eyes just above the waterline. One careless step, a moment of not paying attention, and the crocodile's jaws snap shut with scary force. The struggle is short, the end is sure. Ripples disappear, silence returns, and only the watchful eyes of the survivors remain. As the sun gets higher, the waterhole becomes a busy place. The midday heat brings even more animals, each one desperate for relief. Warthogs kneel awkwardly to drink, their eyes darting around, always careful of what might be hiding nearby. Giraffes, tall and careful, spread their legs wide to reach the water. In this weak position, they are very aware of every sound and movement. Even the smallest creatures, birds, reptiles, and insects, need this precious water, moving between the legs of giants to get a drink. Competition isn't just between predator and prey. Rival herds show off and push each other, each one determined to get their share. Sometimes herds of the same kind of animal face off, showing strength and cleverness in a quiet fight for who's in charge. The strongest drink first while the rest wait their turn, always alert, always ready to run away. Yet even with all the struggle, there are moments of peace. For a short time the waterhole is a place of delicate calm. A group of doves lands next to the antelope, both kinds of animals needing water. A family of baboons splashes and plays at the edge, their happy sounds echoing across the water. For a brief moment, a truce connects everyone who gathers here, each animal needing the same thing, each following the same unspoken rules. As evening comes, the waterhole empties. The day's heat gives way to the cool hug of night. Shadows get longer and the first hunters of the night appear, moving quietly and carefully. The daytime drama gives way to the mysteries of darkness, but the memory of the waterhole stays in every heart. It's a place of danger and reward, where every visit is a test of smarts, strength, and luck. No human eyes see these scenes. The waterhole's secrets belong only to the wild. The drama of the waterhole plays out for nature itself, a sign of the plans, tensions, and delicate way of living together that define life in the wild. As the sun dips below the endless horizon of the Serengeti, the golden light bathes the savanna in a warm, fading glow. The air cools and the landscape transforms, shadows stretching long across the plains. Around the waterhole, the bustle of the day fades away. Herds that once gathered for a final drink now melt into the tall grass, their outlines vanishing into the coming night. But as the open space is empty, a new performance begins, one played out in silence in the shifting sea of grass and shadow. Here, survival is not always about strength or speed, but about the ancient art of vanishing. In this world, the Masters of Camouflage reign. Their lives depend on the ability to disappear, to become invisible to both predator and prey. Some creatures are so skilled at blending in that they seem to dissolve into the landscape itself, their outlines lost among the tangled stems and shifting colours. Both hunter and hunted vanish from sight, locked in a silent contest of patience and perception. Take the lion cub, for example. Its tawny coat is the colour of the sun-dried grass, a perfect disguise in the golden light. Lying low, the cub is nearly indistinguishable from the sun-bleached blades that surround it, the line between animal and earth blurred by nature's design. Only the flick of a tail or a sudden blink betrays its presence, a fleeting movement in a world of stillness. This natural camouflage is a lifeline, shielding the cubs from the hungry eyes of prowling hyenas and the silent approach of leopards. Hidden from danger, the cubs have a chance to play, to grow, and to learn the ways of the wild. Each day survived a small victory in the struggle for life. Not far away, another master of disguise rests above the ground. A leopard sprawls along the dappled branch of an acacia tree, its body draped in shadows and sunlight. The leopard's spotted coat mirrors the shifting patterns of light and leaf, each rosette a perfect echo of the sun's dance through the canopy. To those passing below, the leopard is little more than a shadow, a ghostly presence among the branches. Every muscle is still, every breath measured as it waits for the perfect moment. Patiently it watches a gazelle graze, waiting for the unsuspecting animal to wander just a little too close. Out on the open plain, camouflage takes a different form. The Thompson's gazelle relies not only on speed but on subtle coloration to survive. Its pale brown flanks and white belly break up its outline, making it difficult for predators to single out an individual as the herd dashes away. The young fawns, born with coats dappled in white spots, freeze in the tall grass, their markings mimicking the play of sunlight and shadow. Each spot is a brushstroke in nature's masterpiece, rendering the fawn nearly invisible to passing eyes. It is a vanishing act perfected over countless generations, a living illusion in the grass. But camouflage is not only a shield from predators. For some, it is the key to ambush. The praying mantis, no larger than a leaf, sways gently with the breeze, its emerald body a mirror of the foliage it hunts upon. Its limbs and body mimic the shape and color of the leaves, allowing it to remain unseen by both predator and prey. Hidden in plain sight, the mantis waits motionless, ready to strike at any insect that wanders too close, its patience rewarded by the element of surprise. Even the earth itself is home to masters of disguise. The African ground lizard, a small and nimble reptile, shifts its colors to match the rocks and soil, its scales reflecting the hues of its surroundings. When danger approaches, the lizard freezes, becoming just another stone beneath the relentless African sun. Its stillness and perfect mimicry make it nearly impossible to spot, a silent survivor in a world of watchful eyes. As darkness falls, new masters of camouflage emerge. The nightjar, a bird of twilight, rests motionless on the ground, its body pressed flat against the earth. Its mottled feathers are a perfect match for the dry leaves and twigs, each feather a thread in the tapestry of the forest floor. To the untrained eye, the bird is invisible, a phantom among the debris. Only when it bursts into flight does its presence become known. A sudden flutter, a shadow rising into the dusk. For a moment it is a fleeting silhouette against the fading light, then gone again into the night. Across the vast savanna, camouflage is more than a trick of the eye. It is a vital adaptation, honed by countless generations in the struggle for survival. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest predator, is shaped by this relentless contest, each adapting in its own way to the challenges of the wild. Whether predator or prey, large or small, these animals remind us of the delicate balance that governs life here. The art of disappearing is a lesson written in every blade of grass, every patch of dappled sunlight, every shadow that moves across the land. In the wild, survival often belongs not to the boldest or the strongest, but to those who can vanish when it matters most. Sometimes the wisest strategy is simply to remain unseen, a silent presence hidden in plain sight, enduring as the sun sets and the savanna breathes into the night. Beneath the golden sunlight and the endless blue sky, the Serengeti stretches out in a breathtaking tapestry of life. Here every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest predator, is woven into a vast and intricate web. This is the circle of life, an eternal dance where each being has a role and every action ripples through the wild. The food chain is nature's grand design, binding predator and prey in a delicate balance. The chase across the grasslands is not just a struggle for survival, but a performance that sustains the entire ecosystem. When a lioness stalks a wildebeest or a herd of zebras flees in a thunder of hooves, they are all playing their part in this ancient rhythm. At the heart of this circle are the herbivores, massive herds of wildebeest, zebras, and antelopes. Their numbers are staggering, their migrations legendary, painting the plains with movement and life. Gazelles roam the grassy expanses, often side by side with zebras, their vigilance and agility a testament to the constant presence of danger. These herbivores graze on the abundant grasses, transforming sunlight into energy, fueling not only their own bodies but the entire savanna. As they move and feed, they become the engines that drive the ecosystem, nourishing themselves and all who depend on them, directly or indirectly. In the shadows, predators wait. Lions, cheetahs, and wild dogs stalk the herds, their eyes sharp, their bodies poised for the hunt. Their survival depends on their skill and teamwork, on strength, strategy, and the ability to read the land and the movements of their prey. When a lioness brings down a zebra, it is not just a victory for her pride. The meal she provides will feed not only her family, but a host of other creatures, scavengers, insects, and even the earth itself. Soon, hyenas arrive, their laughter echoing across the plains as they tear into the remains, each bite recycling nutrients that would otherwise be lost. Vultures descend from the sky, their wings casting fleeting shadows as they join the feast. Each scavenger has a unique role, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Hyenas crush bones with powerful jaws, extracting nutrients hidden deep within, nutrients that would otherwise remain locked away. Vultures, with their keen eyesight and strong beaks, pick the bones clean, leaving nothing but the barest trace of what once was. Even the smallest creatures, beetles and ants, arrive to claim their share, crawling over the remains in a tireless search for sustenance. Flies swarm, and together with other insects, they break down the tiniest scraps, returning vital nutrients to the soil where new life will one day grow. Smaller predators, like jackals and wildcats, play their part as well. They hunt rodents and other small animals, keeping their populations in check. Birds, too, are hunted, their numbers balanced by these agile hunters, preventing any one species from overwhelming the plains. In the undergrowth, snakes lie in wait, ambushing lizards or raiding nests for eggs, their silent presence a reminder that danger comes in many forms. Above, eagles and other raptors soar, their sharp eyes scanning for the slightest movement. In the rivers, crocodiles glide silently, ever watchful for a chance to strike. Fish dart through the water, wary of the crocodile's sudden attack. On land, spiders hide in the grass, waiting for the perfect moment to ambush their prey. The praying mantis, patient and still, strikes with lightning speed, feeding itself and ensuring the next generation will thrive. Plants, too, are vital to this circle. They capture the sun's energy, anchoring the entire web of life. As herbivores graze, they trim the grasses, allowing new shoots to emerge, keeping the savanna lush and green. When animals die, their bodies return to the earth, enriching the soil and nurturing the next season's growth. Even fire, sparked by lightning, has its place. It sweeps across the plains, clearing old growth and making way for new life to flourish. This complex web is a balance of give and take, a living network where every thread is essential. If one thread is pulled too hard, the entire system can unravel. Too many predators and the herds dwindle, too few and the grasses are eaten down to the roots, leaving the land barren. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the largest elephant, depends on the others for survival. The fate of all is intertwined, their lives bound together in a shared destiny. Here, life and death are not opposites, but partners in an endless cycle. The fall of one creature nourishes the rise of another. The savanna thrives on this eternal exchange, where every ending is a new beginning, and every loss gives rise to new life. The circle of life is not just a story. It is the heartbeat of the wild, a living testament to the beauty, resilience, and wonder of nature's grand design. Beneath the surface of the vibrant Serengeti plains, another world is hard at work. Here, in the cool shadows of the earth, an army of unseen architects shapes the savanna's destiny. Termites, often overlooked, are the silent engineers of this ecosystem. Their mounds rise like ancient fortresses, towering over the grass, each one a testament to countless hours of tireless labor. Inside, millions of tiny workers carve out intricate tunnels, regulating temperature with clever ventilation and cultivating fungus gardens, their primary food source. These mounds become essential hubs of life, providing shelter for lizards, snakes, and even burrowing owls that make homes in abandoned chambers. But termites do more than just build. As they break down tough plant material, they recycle nutrients, enriching the soil and ensuring the grass returns green and lush after each season. Their work is mirrored by earthworms, beetles, and a host of other decomposers. Together they transform fallen leaves and animal remains into fertile soil, laying the groundwork for new growth. Above ground, the results of their labor spread across the landscape. Elephants, the gentle giants, are drawn to the mineral-rich soil around termite mounds, digging with their trunks to unearth vital nutrients. In their wake, they create pools that collect rainwater, forming new water sources for countless creatures. Birds gather around the mounds, feeding on insects and using the elevated vantage point to scan the area for predators. The mounds themselves become islands of biodiversity, supporting rare plants and attracting a mosaic of life. This hidden world beneath our feet is just as vital as the drama unfolding above. The unseen architects work in silence, their efforts weaving the fabric of the savanna, one grain of dirt at a time. Their legacy is a landscape teeming with life, a reminder that the smallest creatures can shape the destiny of a kingdom. As the sun sets over the plains, casting long shadows across the grass, the tireless work of these tiny engineers continues. Unseen, but never unimportant, in nature's grand design, every role matters, and the greatest changes often begin with the smallest hands. Above the endless plains, where the morning sun touches the treetops, another world wakes up. A world made of leaves and shadows, held up by ancient giants. This is the world of the acacia forests, and within its tangled branches live the quiet guardians of the forest. Here the elegant black and white colobus monkeys leap lightly from branch to branch, their tails waving like flags in the air. They're smart and watch everything, eating the soft leaves, their light fingers picking only the new shoots. By doing this, they prune the trees, shaping the forest itself and making sure sunlight reaches below to feed the life there. Among the thick leaves, hornbill birds with large curved beaks perform their morning rituals. Pairs call to each other with soft, echoing sounds, while tiny chicks, hidden inside tree hollows, wait to see the world for the first time. These birds don't just live here. They're like gardeners, swallowing whole fruits and spreading seeds far and wide, planting the next generation of trees with every flight. Under the canopy, in the dappled light, weaver birds begin their work. Their small bodies move quickly between branches, weaving intricate nests from blades of grass. Each nest, hanging like a lantern, sways gently in the breeze, safe from predators and a cradle for new life. The entire forest echoes with sounds, like a symphony that shows how alive this hidden community is. As the day warms up, chameleons, masters of disguise, move slowly along thin branches, their skin changing between shades of green and brown. Their spiral tails and watchful eyes search for insects, and their presence keeps the delicate balance, making sure no single species takes over. In this green kingdom, every creature, no matter how small, has a role. The monkey's selective eating shapes the trees, and the birds' flights plant new life, and insects and reptiles maintain the fragile balance. The forest itself is like a shield, protecting the ground below from the strongest sun and heaviest rain and regulating the climate for all who live beneath it. As the sun sets and the sky turns pink with the fading light, the acacia forest comes alive with a chorus of sounds, a final celebration before the quiet of the night. In the complex dance of survival and renewal, the guardians of the canopy remind us that the greatest wonders are often hidden right above our heads and kept safe by the quiet, tireless work of nature's best caretakers. Underneath the emerald-green canopy, where light sneaks in like scattered puzzle pieces, the forest opens up to winding rivers and muddy banks. This is a world not made by claws or teeth, but by cleverness and quiet work. Here in the cool riverbed, huge, strong animals slowly walk through the shallow water. African elephants, the river's builders, use their big trunks to dig for hidden springs. They make pools that will give water to countless other creatures long after the herd has left. With every powerful step, their feet stir the soft mud, making new paths for the water to flow. A bunch of animals follow these gentle giants. Warthogs kneel to drink from the new pools, and antelope stop for a careful sip. Even tiny frogs hide in the surprise puddles that pop up at the river's edge. Fish, now free from their shrinking pools, rush through the newly opened channels, their silver bodies flashing in the scattered light. But the riverbed isn't changed by elephants alone. Beavers, rarely seen but always there, chew on thin branches with their tireless jaws to build amazing dams. Their lodges create calm water behind the dams, safe places for turtles and nesting spots for water birds. As branches pile up, silt settles, new plants take root, and the river's path is gently changed. Otters, sleek and playful, slide between the reeds, their graceful bodies weaving through a maze of roots and sunken logs. With sharp eyes they hunt fish and crabs, while their old dens give shelter to shy reptiles and nesting birds. Every move, every burrow and dam shapes the fate of the riverbank, creating a living blueprint for survival. From above, kingfishers perch on low-hanging branches, their eyes sharp and watchful. With a sudden plunge, they break the water's surface, snatching small fish from the depths. Their presence shows how much life is created by the unseen engineers below, a delicate system where every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, has a part to play. As dusk falls, the riverbed glows in the soft light, and the air is filled with the croaking of frogs and the buzzing of insects. The work of the Riverbed Engineers continues, silent and never-ending, making sure life thrives along the winding waters long after the sun goes down. In this world without walls, the rivers themselves are always changing masterpieces, not made by force but by the patient hands and clever minds of nature's hardest workers. As dawn breaks over the vast wetlands, a golden mist blankets the surface, turning every blade of grass and every ripple into a shimmering thread in nature's tapestry. Here, in this huge mix of swamps, reeds and shallow ponds, life puts on a show more complex than any river or forest could on its own. Wetlands are a safe place where the lines blur, where water and land hug each other in a slow, endless dance. It's a place where quiet is never truly silent. Instead, it hums with countless living things. Frogs hiding among the water lilies croak their morning greetings, while dragonflies dart and sparkle like living jewels, their wings catching the first light. Under the surface, schools of small fish swim through underwater reed forests, their quick bodies dodging the patient gaze of the heron standing still like a statue. These tall, elegant birds, covered in blue and white feathers, wait for the perfect moment to strike. Their movements a lesson in patience and exactness. In the thickets, a family of otters appears, playful and curious. They slide into the water, barely making a ripple, chasing each other through underwater tunnels and popping up with shouts of victory and a wiggling fish. Their joy is catching, a reminder that staying alive can be as fun as it is dangerous. Above, the air is full of wings. Flocks of spoonbills and ibises fly low, their curved beaks sifting through the mud for insects and tiny shellfish. Reed warblers flit from stalk to stalk, weaving their soft songs through the reeds. In the distance, the sad call of the bittern echoes, a sound as old as the wetlands themselves. Out of sight, a chorus of insects, crickets, cicadas, and the constant buzz of mosquitoes fills every gap, making sure the wetlands are never truly quiet. Even the mud is full of life, snails, worms, and tiny crustaceans, all working secretly to break down and renew. Every creature here is both a musician and an audience, playing its part in a living concert with no conductor, just the gentle rhythms of water and wind. This is a world that relies on being exact more than being seen, where the drama unfolds not in battles, but in the careful balance of giving and taking. Wetlands are a safe place, a nursery and a crossroads, supporting life in humble and deep ways. As the sun rises higher, the mist melts away, showing the true richness of the wetlands, an endless harmony of shapes and colours, each one important and each one impossible to replace. In this wetland symphony, every note matters, and every life, no matter how small, has a voice in the chorus of survival. As the sun reaches its highest point in the sky, casting a warm glow over the wide-open marshlands, another part of nature's story begins to show itself. Here, in this place that is both peaceful and full of sound, life grows in a careful balance, where every living thing plays a key role in the complex web of life. In the middle of the marsh, a family of beavers works hard on their dam. With great care they gather branches and mud, making their home strong against the water levels that are always changing. Their strong, flat tails slap the water, sending ripples that spread through the quiet, a reminder of how hard they work. Nearby, a pair of grebes performs a fancy dance on the water's surface. Their movements are perfectly timed, a dance of love showing the deep connections that form in the wild. As they dive and come back up, water drops sparkle like diamonds in the sunlight, making their ritual even more magical. In the shallow water, a school of minnows zips through the tangled roots of water lilies. Their silver bodies shimmering like quicksilver, they move as one, a living fabric weaving through the underwater world, avoiding the sharp eyes of the hunting fish hiding in the deeper parts. Above, a kestrel hovers, its keen eyes looking over the land below. With a sudden dive it grabs an unaware mouse, a reminder of the tough facts of survival. But still, even in this act, there's a feeling of balance, a natural system that supports the environment. Among the reeds, a group of frogs begins to sing. They're croaking a harmonious mix that fills the air with life. Each call is special, a personal signature in the marsh's symphony. Dragonflies flutter above, their shimmering wings catching the light as they chase tiny insects, adding a touch of magic to the scene. Turtles bask on sun-warmed logs, their old eyes almost closed in happiness. They are the quiet guardians of the marsh, their presence a link to a time long ago. Sometimes they slide into the water with a gentle splash, disappearing into the muddy depths where they continue their peaceful life. In the distance, a great blue heron stands still, its sharp gaze fixed on the water's surface. With the lightning speed, it strikes, coming up with a wiggling fish held in its beak. The heron swallows its prey and goes back to watching, a lone hunter in a world full of life. As the day comes to an end, the marshlands begin to glow with the soft colours of twilight. Fireflies appear, their glowing bodies twinkling like fallen stars on the ground. The air fills with the gentle whispers of crickets, a lullaby that calms the creatures of this lively environment. In this part of the marshland stories, every living thing, from the smallest bug to the grand heron, plays a key role. Every life, every moment is a note in nature's big symphony, a testament to the strength and beauty of the natural world. As night falls, the marshlands become a world of shadows and whispers, a place where the cycle of life continues, unseen but always there. In the quiet, one can almost hear the heartbeat of the earth, a reminder that, in this careful balance, every life matters,